So this is a part 3 of the surgery procedure, the laser eye surgery video. I'm sorry it takes that long, but I just want to cover everything that I wanted to say. It might be some weird inserts of me looking different, but that's just because I recalled that I forgot to mention something and I think it's quite important. So if I do have some weird inserts of me looking weird or different, it's because while editing, for example, I realized I forgot to mention something. Thank you very much and enjoy this video, guys. Before the surgery, they give you when you sat in that room with those anesthetics, and it takes 15 minutes for the surgery to get you ready. You're being given a bag, and in this bag you've got all the documentation that you need. So you've got like a manual of what to do. You're being given a list of the a medication that you need to take. So I think it's antibiotic. When I read a prescription about this medication, one was to keep your eyes moist, so just the regular eye drops that you can buy in every pharmacy, and the other one was, I think, antibiotic to stop you from getting an eye infection. And you've been given those medications as well, plus you've been given a list of how often to take them, and if it changes through time. So you're being given a folder on a day 1, and you keep all the documentation in here. And yeah, my laser was femtolensic, so they give you that sort of paper, and they're telling you what to do in the day of the procedure, the next day, and up to the next day and up to a week after the procedure. And they also give you some sort of tips on how to take the medication and how often, and they also give you those on how to do those covers for your eyes and everything. Hello you guys, this is me, Kinga. I just wanted to quickly do that insert because I went to Poland. As you can tell, I've cut my hair. I went to Poland and I found the eye covers that I've used for my surgery, so I wanted to demonstrate how they look like. So these are the covers that I've been given by the clinic, but I had to buy in the pharmacy. I had to buy a plaster. It just basically, quickly, I'm gonna show you. It looks like this. So it's basically the plaster that you use to attach something to your skin, and what you do is you put it like this. Obviously you cut it, and then you cover your eye like this. I don't know if you can see it, like this, and you do it with the other eye. So just to protect it while you're asleep. So that is it. So I was given that with the medication, and I'm just keeping here like all the receipts and everything. I'm keeping in that folder, so it's good that they're giving you that folder. And after I got home, the soreness really starts kicking in, and you can really start feeling the pain. So as I said, it felt like I had an eye infection, which wasn't really an eye infection, but it was really like, so it really felt like I had sand under my eyelids. I couldn't watch anything, I couldn't see anything. I had to, when I was texting my friend, I had to it wasn't a long text, and I had to take breaks in typing because I couldn't look in my eyes. I couldn't look with my eyes for longer than 10 seconds. Because it was quite painful and I couldn't fall asleep, I was taking painkillers. The pain wasn't very bad, but it stopped me from falling asleep. And after I think 2 hours of me trying to fall asleep, I finally fell asleep, and I slept for like 4 hours, and this was great. It really, really helped me. Like after I woke up, I was still very sensitive to light, but before I couldn't look with my eyes for longer than 10 seconds. After I fell asleep, I was capable of functioning sort of normally, and I was able to see with my eyes, like look with my eyes, like keep them open for longer than 10 seconds basically. They were still feeling very sore. Also, when I couldn't fall asleep, I was constantly applying the Hydrating Eye Drops because I thought maybe they were gonna help, and they were very helpful, but your eyes are watering as well. I didn't wipe my eyes because you're not allowed to do that, but I was wiping my cheeks because they were literally wet of tears because my eyes were very teary. So that's the thing you need to take in consideration, that your eyes are gonna be very teary. And after the procedure, yes, I went to, so I fell asleep for 4 hours. Remember that you need to follow the eye drop situation. And the next day in the morning around 11 o'clock, I had an eye check. And this is when they did like 15 minutes checks just to see if your eyes are fine, and then you go home. I traveled 2 hours back to my town, and after a week I came back for the eye check. It's exactly or almost exactly the same eye check as when you had on the day one. I think, at least what I think it is. I think they might skip some of the things in there, but they just basically making sure that your eye didn't change inside in a weird way, or if everything's fine. And that eye check was around 3 o'clock. No, it was later than that. It was around 4 or 5, so I had to stay in Krakow because I wouldn't have any mean of transport that late to my city, in my town, the place that I live in. So I stayed in Krakow that day, that night. But the whole experience was very good. I have to say, if you're thinking about it, go and do it. This is the best investment. And after the 3 months, I had the same eye check as I had on 7th day. So just make sure everything's fine and your eyes react and they're recovering, and your eyesight is not getting worse. It can get better, but it's not getting worse in any way, because it can be too much on plus or can be too much in minus, if that makes sense. And that your astigmatism isn't coming back, isn't getting worse, or so basically it's gone. And that's it. I think that's it. I didn't have to, did I stay? No, I didn't have to stay on my 3rd month because it was, just to let you know, after the eye checks, you are not allowed to drive. And the reason for it is because they give you eye drops that spreads your pupils. Like, your pupils are basically like after drugs. Your pupils get very big. And I think that's the reason why you're not allowed to drive, because it can affect your eyesight. It affects your eyesight. That's why you're not allowed to drive. So just always make sure that you've got someone who's gonna drive you. Either it's Uber or somebody or a friend. Never drive after those eye checks. 7 day, 3 months, 9 months, you always need to have someone who drives you back from those eye checks. They told me that I can use hydrating eye drops more often if I need to, but they say at least what it says on there. But with the medication, like antibiotics and everything, you need to use it as prescribed, exactly as prescribed. How did I feel? So basically, after I think up to 2 weeks of the procedure, I felt like my eyes were kind of dry. I think it was 2 weeks or a month. They were kind of dry. Like, I could feel like I need to use eye drops. Like, I need to feel eye drops. And every time, you also need to avoid doing some heavy training for a month. So you can walk. Like, my job was pretty physical, so you need to be very careful for a month when it comes to physical exercises. Like, don't restrain yourself. So for a month I had to skip heavy lifting, for example. I could walk, but I couldn't go to the gym, if that makes sense. And after like 3 months, I just messaged them and asked them if I could do LVL lashes, and they said yes. So that's okay. I'm not sure how long you have to wait, but I would say 3 months is like the least, because that's where the most important healing process stops. And I'm pretty sure that's everything. I've covered everything. I know from when I spoke to my friends that they're like the people that they know, they did the laser eye surgery. they were experiencing dry eyes for longer. Like I've only experienced them really for a month, and after that it was fine. But yeah, I know some people might struggle with it for longer, so just bear that in mind, and use eye drops as often as you want, at least as it's recommended. But if you need to use them more often, use them more often. That's 100% okay. The medication in itself is the thing that you need to be careful with, and you need to follow the instructions to use that. And what else, guys? That's it, I think. Thank you for watching this part. Please hit the subscribe button, bell button next to it if you want to keep up with what's going on my channel. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely day. Bye!